Welcome to Community Conversations. I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner, and joining me today is Shannon Moore. She's our manager of our Office of Sustainability and also supports our Sustainability Commission. Welcome, Shannon.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to have you. Can you tell us a little bit about what the Office of Sustainability does?
Sure. So it's sustainability and environmental resources. So on the sustainability side, we track metrics related to performance for the county's long-term survivability. And so we're looking at things like how well do we manage our energy consumption over time, and how well are we meeting our environmental targets, and what are social issues that we need to make sure that we're tracking so that our citizens can continue to enjoy the same quality of life that they have now and maybe even improve their quality of life. And so we have some key programs that we do in the sustainability arena. I have one grant-funded person right now who's working primarily on energy initiatives, and so she's looking at ways of introducing alternative energy into the way that the county does business, also reducing our energy consumption, doing energy efficiency work. And then on the environmental side, we do primarily environmental work with stormwater, and so we manage all of the county's stormwater permits. And what that means is stormwater is the water that falls down from the sky and then runs off of the ground when it rains. And so we're looking at the county's, the storm sewer system that we have, as well as some of our facilities like highway operations sites and all of the permits associated with them, and making sure that they're in compliance.
Well, I know you're the expert on these issues. Can you talk about how the county is doing with its energy consumption?
The county is doing great. It has set goals for a 50% reduction of non-renewable energy in the next 15 years, starting in 2010, and we're on track to do that. We just evaluated energy consumption between 2007 and 2012, and we found that the county had a 3.5% reduction, and a lot of that is due to the great work that the county divisions have been doing as far as implementing energy efficiency projects.
Okay, well that's good news.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we also have goals to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. And can you talk about that a little bit, including explaining to people what greenhouse gas emissions are and why it's important to manage and reduce those?
Thank you for asking me that question. So the greenhouse effect is kind of like a blanket over the Earth in the atmosphere. It keeps the Earth warm so that during the day it's not too hot and during night it's not completely freezing. Other planets that don't have a greenhouse gas effect can't support life, and so it's very important. But what we're seeing now is that due to the fact that we're releasing more and more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, that we're thickening that blanket and we're making that lens that keeps the Earth warm a little bit too thick. And as a result of that, it's getting a little bit too warm. And what that does is, since all of the climate is driven by heat, all of our weather patterns are driven by heat, we're starting to see some changes in our kind of major meteorological patterns. And so that should be a concern to everyone, because change isn't necessarily good for everyone. You might have an area that's used to being cold that gets warmer and suddenly they can grow crops, but you could also have a coastal area that was used to having a more stable environment that now has huge storm surges and loses coastline and puts all of the people on the coast at risk. And so those are the kinds of things that we're really trying to prevent by working at a local level in concert with a lot of other governments and a lot of other citizens to try to reduce our emissions of greenhouse gases.
So what is the county trying to do to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions, which generally is understood as carbon emissions?
Right. So greenhouse gas emissions are measured in terms of carbon because that's the prevailing one that's causing human-induced climate change. And so when you burn fossil fuels, you drive your car, or you're burning natural gas for your stove, or any of those kinds of things, you're burning fossil fuels and you're creating greenhouse gases. And then at the same time, certain practices like animal agriculture or solid waste naturally release gases directly into the atmosphere. And so what we're doing at the county is to try to reduce our energy consumption. And so, for example, our transit division has been investing in electric buses, and we've worked with them on that initiative. Our public works manages a lot of our facilities, and so they have been retrofitting the HVAC systems, putting in alternative lighting, LED type lighting, light emitting diodes, which are really, really low energy consuming. They've done that not only in buildings, but also in our street lights and in our traffic lights. And so a lot of places where you would normally have to change bulbs very often and also pay for the maintenance costs, we're no longer having to do that. We have to replace the bulbs less often because they last longer. So a lot of these things not only reduce greenhouse gases, they also save energy and save the county a lot of money, which is good for the taxpayer.
That's correct. All these things have multiple benefits. So I know we've been acknowledged for our success in what is called the Green Homes Challenge. Can you tell us a little bit about what the Green Homes Challenge, what the program is?
Sure. That is a project I'm very proud of. It was started by my predecessor, Hillary Varnador. It has 3 components to it. It's designed for citizens, and it's available at frederickgreenchallenge.org. And what it does is it helps the average person learn how they can change behaviors and to basically make their behaviors more sustainable for themselves and their families. So the first challenge is be a power saver, which teaches people how to reduce their energy consumption and invest in energy efficiency. And then we have be a green leader, which talks about the practices around your home, how you affect stormwater and other kinds of environmental impacts. And then be a renewable star, where we help people to invest in alternative energy either by, say, buying wind power or getting solar or solar hot water installed on their homes or some other form of alternative energy.
Solar seems to be the hot thing right now. I see a lot of solar panels going in on people's homes, and so there seems to be a lot of interest in that. Now, how many people have participated at some level in the Green Homes Challenge, just generally speaking?
We have over 1,700 households enrolled. And then we've had enrollment in our specific special initiatives like the Power Saver Retrofits program, which we're finishing up enrollment in now. We've had over 200 participants in that program, and that's where we actually help households to implement energy efficiency through funding through Maryland Energy Administration. So we have also had close to 1,000 people certify in the Green Homes Challenge. We have several hundred people that are involved in the Neighborhood Green program. So it's a program that has a broad impact across Frederick County and its citizens.
Well, Frederick County is definitely providing leadership in this area, and we're going to be acknowledged for the Green Homes Challenge Award by the Washington Council of Governments. Can you talk a little bit about this award and what it means for us to be a leader in the Green Homes Challenge?
Yeah, so that was really exciting. They approached us and asked if we would apply. It's a Leadership in Climate and Energy Award. And the reason why we picked the Green Homes Challenge to apply for that award is because our citizens have done so much to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions that we really wanted to share the credit of our program with our citizens. So they were looking at the overall amount of greenhouse gas emissions reductions that we had. We have, and in terms of dollar savings, our citizens have saved close to $1 million by implementing these different practices per year we're up to. And the frederickgreenchallenge.org website that we have, it's simple to use. You can put in what kind of actions you've done, but then on the back end it actually does calculations to show you how much money you've saved, how many kilowatt hours of electricity, how much pollution, how much greenhouse gas. So it reflects to you what you've done to achieve goals and how you've saved yourself money and have made the world a better place. And that's something that COG is really trying to promote, is getting active citizen engagement and showing real-world reductions of greenhouse gases.
Well, it's a great honor for Frederick County to receive this award. You know, I'm sure we competed with all of our metropolitan Washington, D.C. Jurisdictions, both in Maryland and in Virginia. So for us to be in the lead and to be acknowledged for that really speaks well to this program and to the work of you and your staff. So congratulations on earning this award. I always say it's something that you earn, not something that is just granted to you.
Yes, thank you.
So of course we want more people to be involved in the Green Homes Challenge. So how can they find out more about it?
So if they go to frederickgreenchallenge.org, they can sign up for the challenge there. It's a website that has a login. They can also sign up there for our quarterly newsletters, where we share information about what's going on across the county for sustainability initiatives, not just what we're doing inside the government, but what other private entities and citizens are doing. And they can always contact our office. They can call me at 301-600-1413 or SMOORE@frederickcountymd.gov.
And through this program, they can have somebody come out and do an audit of their home to give them advice on how they can become more energy efficient, which not only helps the environment, but will save them money.
Yeah.
And so there's a big benefit to the resident for being involved.
That's right. And we run special initiatives through the Green Homes Challenge all the time. And it's kind of a tool that we use to keep citizen engagement. So once you're in the loop, we'll keep you in the loop about these programs that we're doing. So the example you gave about Power Saver retrofits is a good one, where one of our current initiatives helps people to do the same kinds of things we're doing at the county government, leading by example, by doing replacements of heating and cooling systems, putting in more energy efficient appliances, doing insulation work and that kind of thing. And that's just one of the special initiatives that we do as part of the Green Homes Challenge.
Okay. I also wanted to talk a little bit about our reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. You know, we talked about how important that is as that we talk about climate change and the earth warming. One of the biggest carbons that we emit, well, probably across the country, is methane that is released from our landfills all around our country. Mm-hmm. And I know that we put in a landfill gas to energy project a number of years ago to collect that methane and convert it into electricity. Can you speak to how this is helping us to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions and why it's important?
Right. So methane has somewhere between 21 and 25 times the greenhouse gas effect of just carbon dioxide. And so that is a really important gas to control, because for every molecule that you reduce, you're reducing 25 times what you would have to reduce for carbon dioxide. And the county's landfill gas to energy project, I don't want to steal any thunder from our utilities and solid waste division because it's really their project. But it has seen a substantial amount of greenhouse gas reductions. In fact, the reason why the county has reduced its greenhouse gas emissions between 2007 and 2012 as much as it has, 10.5%, is largely because of that, the work that DUSWM has done in reducing landfill gases.
Okay. It's a great project. So it was a
Yes.
private-public partnership as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so we actually implemented it without having to expend any money. And it saves us money as a county, and it also takes us a long way to meeting our goals of reducing greenhouse gas emissions in Frederick County. So our time is up. It happens really quickly. We are going to put on the screen how people can contact the county to get involved in the Green Home Challenge. There's lots of ways to get involved, and so that people can reduce their energy and save money. So thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure to have Shannon Moore and to have you listen to a little bit about what the county is doing and how you can get involved to save money and to save energy and to help reduce air emissions to protect our climate for the future. Thank you for joining us.